Hello, hello, hello! Today on the adventures of these people.
Yay, we're
These
these people.
these people. Uh, we haven't figured out if the group has a name yet. We haven't figured out if the campaign has a name yet. No, 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 no. Your group, not the people you just met, are the poll we did. Your group hasn't come up, doesn't have a name per se, right? So let's recap a little bit. You guys were in a dungeon. You had various reasons for being there. It culminated in fighting a large Medusa lady and her pet snake basilisk. Then
Yeah.
this brightly haired gnome fellow that claims to know you appeared and attempted to help out, but didn't seem to have any significant sway on the outcome at all, intentional or unintentional. You're not certain. He then transported you to this place which looks like the inside of a giant clock tower. There is ticking gears over there, there's whirring stuff, there's spring over there. Every now and then, you're not sure the time frame just yet, you hear like an hour clock or like bend style clock go off to signify some sort of time frame. You see people walking at different angles on different parts of the place. It seems to be internal facing. So like somebody could look up, you could look at them and both wave, but if one of you spit, it wouldn't hit the other one. You blah, 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 blah. Come on, brain. Quindel, your little gnomish companion who is trying to lead you somewhere, sputtered something about time continuums and trans spranglers or something. You kind of lost him at one mentally at one point. He's just like he goes off, and he's led you to a little area with a small diocese, little lectern on it, and an individual wearing a featureless mask stands as if waiting for you. Quindle points towards this individual and says, or actually, he doesn't say, he gestures forward and says, "You may introduce yourselves."
Garrett goes, Hey there, I'm Garrett Porridge Pot, and this is Raisins. Hmm.
The individual nods towards the both of you and motions for you to stand in front as a basically, like a graduation line. Except you guys seem to be the main attendees. There are other entities there, but you can and can't see them at the same time. Some of them are there, some of them are not there, but there at the same time. Let's call them spectral.
Oh, fun.
These people all seem to be cheering in a less than like sort of cheering. They're just they're enthusiastic about being there. There's clapping, there's celebration, but it's not like excessively. It's very Japanese almost, very subtle, very toned down. Unless you're at karaoke, but that's another matter. So, what would you guys like to do right now? Obviously, you started to introduce yourself. Garrett has introduced himself. Cece, you may introduce yourself next. Haha, I segued.
Um, I'm Mir Silvereye. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh my god, my coffee tastes nasty.
Oh
Oh,
no.
oh, I don't know where half of the half of the water went, but oh, I know where all of the flavor went. Ah! Oh, that was a surprise mouth of coffee. Holy crap.
Hello.
Hey there. All right. To recap quickly again, you guys have been led to a small area where there's a person standing at a dais with a altar, and they are, well, not an altar, a lectern. Altar gives a wrong mental impression. And you guys have been led up to the front of it and asked to introduce yourselves. Garrett has introduced himself. Mir has introduced herself, and it is your turn, Dash.
I forgot what character I'm playing.
You are playing Boslin, I believe.
Ross,
Yeah,
Rossman. All right.
not
Ross,
Roslin, Boslin.
my bad. My bad. Sorry.
No,
My
all good, all
cat
good.
is all up on me. Calm down. All right.
Cat's like, no, you can't play. Pay attention to me.
Okay. What am I saying? Sorry. There we go.
All good, all good.
All right. You said that something about an altar.
Basically, you guys have been led to a dais with a lectern and a person wearing like long silvery robes and a featureless mask is standing
Hmm.
there, and you are introducing yourself to them. They haven't been introduced currently,
Okay. 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 So,
and you were
Voss.
introduced to them by Quindle, the little gnome guy that you saw in the dungeon.
Okay then. So Voslin is gonna try to like look around for a little bit and goes, "My name is Voslin. How can I help you all?" Just simple.
And Rosie, with that, the being in front of you speaks to you, but not in words, in thoughts and images, in sensations, and you feel the past, the present, and the future. You see yourselves being here 1,000 times before and 1,000 times in the future, but not this version of you. You see alternate versions of you all doing the same thing. This is explaining to you that right now, basically, the universe has called you to this moment to do something, and then, if you're lucky, you get to go back to whatever the fuck it was you were doing before. At the same time, you can tell that the person in front of you thinking these thoughts has been here quite some time.
Huh.
That was the too long didn't read version because my brain was not working on the descriptive version. I'm sorry.
Worries.
Sometimes TLDR is good. That
So
was not a call out to you, Rose, but it works. Wasn't intentional,
but it could be.
but it's but it fits. All right, so that's what this person has explained. In the process, you found out that they are one of the Chronarchs, which is the Council of Seven that leads this fortress, essentially.
A council of seven.
Hmm.
Voslin is gonna go. What exactly is your guys' purpose?
Our purpose, you hear voices now from different places, but you can tell it's more or less the same person. Our purpose is to protect the time stream.
Hmm. Hmm.
We make trims and tweaks on failing timelines, and we I guess they basically they're the gardeners of time.
I'm gonna just say right now, I kind of regret not choosing a chrono sorcerer. But that being
They'd
said,
fit right in.
yeah, exactly. Well, Vosley's gonna go saying, "Why are we here? We don't have any special powers nor talents for that. There's no purpose for us to be here. So why?"
We are not privy ourselves to the whims of time. It chooses its champions at seeming random and brings those it requires for situations. You might not feel that anything you have now is worthy of such praise, but perhaps in the near future.
What makes one of us?
Hey, as long as Grandpa Porridge Pot's found, I don't care.
I can guarantee that the stream will not inhibit your searches for your personal quests. In fact, you might find things that help you along the way. The stream has ways of showing things, bringing things to light you would not have otherwise seen.
What is the stream?
Every time they refer to the stream, they're talking about the time stream.
No, Vosley go like, "No, that's not what I'm asking. What is the stream? Like, is it a physical thing? Is it just a time concept?"
Out of character, I'd say it's probably their interpretation of a god being that represents stuff outside of the normal godly pantheons.
Ah, okay, that's very interesting.
It is basically the entity or being or god that watches
Look,
over time itself and tries to keep everything in a nice steady flow with probably manipulatable governances
which
at times.
which would make sense why they would consider the stream choosing champions, because usually a gods would
Yeah,
choose a champion. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense then, rather than just the time.
yeah. The stream is the thing that shows you time. They use the words interchangeably. I'm
Fine is
piecing
the
together my
concept of the
notes in my
stream.
head from my vague remembrance of them and trying to word it into legitimate sentences at the same time, which is it's a struggle sometimes.
Feel that? That's a mood.
I
So,
forgot to word today.
yes, you did. So Boston's gonna go, all right. Mm-hmm. Two cats. Anyways, Boston's gonna go. So, so basically, your stream or stream being chose us without a known purpose of why we're chosen.
Technically, I guess that is a correct assumption.
Yeah.
It would know what it was thinking, but it doesn't seem to tell other beings. They just get brought here and are assumed that they wanted to work together in most cases. There
Then
are
I'm pretty
exceptions.
then I'm pretty sure you can guess what my next question is going to be.
Why do you care?
No, no. What
What's
are
in
we
it for
supposed to
you?
do? No, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, okay. Well, first off, if you accept this sacred duty, you can accept these items, and you see four spheres floating in the air above them. You don't know if they're he or a she.
Okay.
If you accept, this will become part of you until you are. I, I don't want to say freed because it sounds like you're slaves, but you're not technically slaves,
I mean, the next worst thing you can say is until you are no longer of use.
right? Until your mission is accomplished. And the problem is the mission that is unknown until it's completed.
Exactly. As Foster, she kind of like puts up a hand and goes, on one hand, we get these spears, which I'm not sure exactly what the spears are going to do for us, and we'll be contracted to work with you all until our mission complete. On the other hand, we don't know why we were summoned. We don't know what our mission is, nor do we actually know what we're supposed to do. Somehow, this right here does not weigh equally, does it
As it
now?
stands right now, you could, if you so choose, you could join the Guild. The Order of Eternal Hourglass has set itself up as defenders of the time stream themselves. They do follow their own guidelines, but do take their leadership from the council as well. They do missions to temporal prisons that we've discovered that hold keys to figuring out the full purpose of what we are doing.
And will that allow ones to, say, join and leave, should they so please, without being contracted to stay?
You can leave whenever you wish. You're not limited to
Obligated.
staying here.
Then,
You can go through, and you can, for your missions that you would have with us, you would go through many time frames. Some you've already been to, some you've yet to see.
well, that right there seems a little bit more reasonable. And it may also give me an insight into exactly what this so-called purpose is supposed to be.
The person leans forward, like towards you a little bit, like not like openly major lean forward, but you can tell they're leaning in a little bit, and you feel what would be the equivalent of a whisper, but still in your head, and just a feeling, a feeling
A
of
passing
interest
wind.
in that content.
All right.
Content wasn't the word I meant to say, but it
I mean, it
worked.
works.
But basically, a whisper of, I would be interested in seeing you pursue that goal. And then an image of a snake headed man.
Under Vosten's breath, not really much of a whisper, but just under his breath, he goes, and thus I feel like I just made another mistake. Too many for my liking. But okay then. Fine. Not like I got anything else to lose. Just one of too many.
Do you reach forward and grab the sphere?
He tentatively reach out to grab it.
All right. Do all of you grab yours?
Yes.
The
Yes.
person, the masked person, then proceeds to start a ritual, essentially. Nods at all of you to make sure that you're still okay with proceeding,
Hmm.
and then 1 minute later, the ritual completes. That sphere melts into a pool of goldish liquid, kind of like mixed between gold, bronze, and electrum almost, and then rolls up your arm, forming the frames of an hourglass on the inside of your forearm, uh, whichever arm you choose.
Yep.
So basically, like a fine filigree jewelry, but under your skin. And as you watch it, you can see little sands flickering through it, which seem to go at the same rate as your heartbeat. So like thump, 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 or thump, 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 thump,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And it forms completely with your arm. This item is on everyone's character sheet dash. I've already added it, so you'll get to update your character sheet.
Hmm.
What it is a temporal band. This makes it so that you guys are not shunted out of the time streams that you are in violently and usually fatally. It is a slim hourglass-shaped filigree of silver gilt dragon bone that fuses the wearer's forearm during a 1-minute initiation ritual. When bonded, fine grains of radiant sand spiral beneath its surface, ticking in time with the wearer's heartbeat. The armlet magically resizes and melds with your skin, can't be removed or suppressed or attuned by anyone else unless the council wills it. While bonded, you are considered adjacent to the time stream, meaning certain types of time magic won't work the same on you, by the way.
Just out
When,
of curiosity,
Mhm.
that sand, I'm pretty sure is from the entity stream himself. You know, like hourglass, the sand from hourglass. That's why I'm saying like the
Pretty
sand
much.
from hell. Yeah.
That's pretty much accurate, yes.
I did
Okay.
have one question. Would
Okay.
would our backups we also be getting these?
Your backups would get these if you want them to have them. If they're going to be in this
Yeah,
particular area, they would definitely have them.
yeah, that'd
If
be
there,
good to like.
if we had a complete TPK, we could be like, hey, let's do a different story, right? But
Mhm.
yes, your backups would have these. If we needed to replace our character, they would get this.
Okay,
And this is homebrew in my campaign. So
okay,
all right. So you guys get to make a choice. One of 4 options. You get to pick a flicker step, which is 3 times a day you can teleport 10 feet. Essentially, 3 times a day you get a missy step. Perfect
okay,
movement. You
Do it
get
all.
+1 to your initiative and cannot be surprised, aka old alert feed. Number 3, rewind surge. Reaction, once per long rest. When you fail a dex, con, or wisdom save, re-roll the save and take the new result. Or number 4, temporal sight. You can cast detect magic once per short rest, but you perceive auras as drifting after images that reveal how long the effect has been in place. So if a magic item sat in one place for a long period of time, there's going to be more glow there than there would be if Rose, who doesn't have that ability, looked at it.
okay.
Does any of those sound interesting to you? Cool, cool.